Hi, welcome to the Anxious Developer Podcast with me, Andres Grvac. Here I share my knowledge on how to reduce your stress, become more present and productive as a developer. Let's make writing code fun again. On today's episode, I talk about that we're not just our work, we're not our family, and we're not our friends. So without further ado, let's dive in. Hello everyone, how are you doing? I hope everyone is well, safe. It's been a while since we had an episode on the Anxious Developer Podcast. So yeah, I'm glad you guys started listening, and let's just dive in to today's topic. So I would like to do a quick exercise with you guys. So if you can repeat after me the following words 3 times. Not my work, I'm not my family, I'm not my friends. Not my work, not my family, not my friends. Not my work, I'm not my family, I'm not my friends. So I hope when I recite those words, it brings you a sense of calmness and peace, and almost like you're letting go of something. At least that's how it works for me. And I would like to talk more about why this is important and why, when we are trying to attach ourselves too much to these things, our life becomes more miserable. So we tend to attach ourselves to our career, what do we do in life, the friends we have, and our family, and everything around that. And why I think that's quite a problem is because there are things that most of the time don't go your way. Or sometimes things go your way and you become great at work. You become very good developer, maybe you're a senior and you become very advanced in your career. And the more good things happen to you, the more you attach that to yourself. So your ego becomes bigger. So you say, oh, I'm such a great developer. I am so smart. I'm so this and that. And well, that is good in some way. It is good to realize how far you come and the position you are in, and be able to express that to other people so they know. For example, when you're looking for a job, you can say you need to show that you're confident, that you're a senior, or maybe a mid developer or junior, so you can get that job offer, and that's okay. But when you tend to associate yourself so much that you're so smart and so this and that, your ego becomes very big. And it's not only bad for other people, the most harmful is to you, because if something happens that is taken away from you, let's say maybe you cannot code anymore, maybe you have a disability or something, then out of a sudden you realize that all of this is gone, because you associated it so much with you, with your personality, your identity. I'm a developer, I'm this, I'm that. And suddenly when you lose that, it's almost like you lose a part of yourself. It's almost like you have to question who you are anymore. And that's exactly the same for your family and friends. So I learned this. I'll talk a little bit more about this in this episode, but I went to a Vipassana retreat. And for you guys who don't know what Vipassana is, it's basically like a silent retreat for 10 days where you're not allowed to use your phone, any devices. You're basically cannot talk with anyone, and you're doing meditations for 10 hours a day. And during that practice, during those 10 days, I learned a lot about ego and so many things that we associate with ourselves, and how much stress we put on us and expectations. And when you release that, when we say that I'm not my work, I'm not my career, not my family, and I'm not my friends, and etc. There can be so many other things. A lot of that goes away. All the baggage, all the things that you're carrying under you, that goes away, and you realize you are more than that. You're more than your career. You're more than whatever family you have. Maybe someone in your family treats you bad, or maybe you have a toxic person in your family or a friend. So suddenly when you release all of those things, you start to feel a lot better. You feel more empowered, like those things don't define you anymore. And there are other things in life that are more important and should be important to you, and that you should focus on. So I want you guys to think about that and realize, even if you came so far in your career and wherever it is, it does not mean that's who you are as a person, because you can lose that. You can lose that maybe in some years, or maybe you want to change your careers or something, and that's okay. And it doesn't mean all of a sudden you're not smart anymore, you cannot achieve your goals anymore, you're gonna be poor or something else. Things change in life, and it's okay. But it's not so good to get attached yourself to your whatever you do so much. Of course, if you enjoy it, you need to keep going, you need to learn more about it. Those are all good things. But as soon as you try to attach yourself too much with what you do, then if there is a case when you lose that, or someone, for example, can come to you and say, oh, you're not such a good developer, I know better developers. Out of a sudden, your ego becomes so big and you start to get defensive, and you feel like, oh, am I really that bad developer? Am I really that bad human being? Maybe I'm not that smart anymore. So you start questioning all of those things because, again, you associated yourself with your work, with your progress, and how far you came. But if you stop associating with that, a person might come to you and say, you know what, you're a bad developer. Like, you don't write clean code, or I've seen better developers. Let's say a bully comes to you, right? And you're like, okay, sure, that might be true. Why not? I mean, I might not write the best code in the world, but that's fine. That's okay. It doesn't define me. I'm still a good human being. I do good things for other people. I'm good with my family and friends. So what if maybe I'm not so great at developing, because you stop associating yourself with that. So that's one take I want you guys to learn from this episode. Next one, I want to talk a little bit about hobbies. And like I said, I went to this Vipassana meditation center, and it taught me a lot of good things. I made a Instagram video for 1 hour, where I talk about my experience of what I learned during this practice. And I actually recommend it to all of you who are interested in meditation and self-growth. And it's not really so much about spirituality and becoming Buddha or whatever. It's more about getting control over your mind and finally being able to manage your mind, your actions, instead of them controlling you. So it's basically getting ownership over your mind, finally. So if you're interested in that, I highly recommend Vipassana meditation for 10 days. I recommend to a lot of my friends. So getting into hobbies, I want to talk about that it's very good to start doing things that maybe you one time enjoyed doing before when you're a kid, or try new things that you never tried before. And you might think, oh, I don't have time, I have a full-time job, or I have to work and I have to learn this and that. But again, going back to the associations and ego, your career is not everything. There's more things to your life than your development career or programming or whatever you're doing. So start seeing it more as okay, cool, I like development, I like to code, but I also know I like to do other things, and maybe it's time for me to explore myself more like I used to when I was a kid. Because all those things, when you start doing more things for your good, for your mental health, all those things eventually improve even your work, and how you work, your relationships with your coworkers, and etc. So all of those things have a good impact on your life, and I saw it in my life. Because if I focus too much on my work, and maybe I become so great at developing in software and stuff like that, but my relationships will get bad. And not my only relationship with my family, but relationship with other people. I'll stop developing new relationships at work because I focus too much on becoming this great developer. Which in the end, it doesn't really matter actually. You may make more money, but you have to ask yourself, like, for what are you doing this? To become the best developer in React or Angular or what? Will that really matter when I become old? Probably not. So try and see what things you didn't do in your life that you'd like to try, hobbies or new things, traveling, stuff like that. And the last one, I want to talk about changing your perception about death. I'm not sure if you guys know, but there's Bhutan is basically, I hope I spell it correctly, is a country in South Asia that is, it's named as the happiest country in the world. They say their citizens are the happiest people. And the secret to their happiness is that they think about death 3 times per day. Yes, you heard me right. They think about that 3 times per day. And I think for a lot of cultures it might be, this might sound really weird, especially from my country where I came from Moldova. This will be a really taboo topic to talk about. If I were talking about death in my family, my mom or my dad or my parents, my friends would say, like, don't talk about that. That's almost like asking for bad luck in your life. So we don't talk about death, and we always are afraid of death, as death has to do something bad in your life, or it takes something from you. But for the last couple of weeks, I think 1 month, I've been thinking about death a lot, and not in a way to get depressed or sad or anxious around it. No, it's more about, when I think about death, I usually think 2 times per day if I can, maybe more. I really take the opportunity to think about it and remind myself about it. Is that maybe I'm really, focused on one little thing. For example, the other days, my girlfriend gave me AirPods Pro as a gift, and I really like them, enjoy them, but there was some sound problems in them, and I thought, oh my god, I think they're broken or something, and I was so worried about them, trying to get them fixed, check, because they cost a lot, and I know my girlfriend doesn't have a lot of money, and she really offered to give me this gift, and I really appreciate it. So I was worried that she gave me this gift, but it's actually not working. And I was thinking, oh my god, what should I do? I call Apple and stuff like that. So there's a lot of worries around it. And then suddenly I thought about, I'm gonna die. Like, one day I'm gonna die. And when I thought about that, I realized this is really not that important as I make it. And you'll probably realize too, a lot of things that we think are very important or like really urgent during the day, when you think about it long term, and when you realize that you're gonna die one day, you're not gonna live eternally, even though our mind tries to reject the idea that we're gonna die one day as much as possible. Realizing that we're gonna die one day takes off a lot of pressure from your daily problems and small things that you worry too much about. At first, you might get a bit anxious that you think about death, but after 1 minute, 2 minutes, actually a sense of peace and calmness come to your mind, because you think, oh, you know what, this actually doesn't really matter. Like, I should focus on other things. I should focus on my relationships with other people, helping other people, be kind to other people, spending more time with my loved ones. And all of a sudden you realize what is really important to you. So I've been practicing this, like I said, for over a month, and I see a lot of benefits in my life. It's almost like a mindfulness practice, which I recommend to you a lot to just try it. And like I said, I know in a lot of countries, a lot of cultures, this is as a taboo topic. And it might be hard for you to try and stick to it, but I think there is a reason why the country Bhutan is the happiest country in the world. And their secret to that is they think about death. So hopefully, guys, I didn't leave you with to leave you with thinking about death at the end of the episode is a little bit maybe too much. So I want you guys to remember that we're all human beings. We all mess up in life. We all maybe change careers, or we're not so great at the things we do all the times, and that's okay. So I want you guys to take out the pressure of being the best developer, being the best human being, and having the best relationship in your life. And I would like you just to focus on what is really important for me in this moment. In this moment right now, what is really important for me to do. So I'll not have regrets when the last day of my life comes. And probably that will move a lot of people from their couches and start doing something with their life. So this is not a motivational talk or just reflection. So hope you guys have an amazing week ahead, amazing month, productive month, relaxing month, whatever you want to do and how you want to see it. And yeah, we'll see you again on the next episode. Wish you a great week. And remember, guys, you're loved, you matter, and you're worthy. See you. Bye-bye. This has been another episode of the Anxious Developer Podcast with me, Andrei Zgurvac. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. You can find me at Andrei_Zgurvac. I would love to connect with you. If you like this episode, make sure to leave a review on iTunes. It's the best way for you to let me know what can I improve. Thanks everyone for listening. Have an amazing week.